Good everyone, my name is Graphics. If you look at the right hand side of the screen, you'll see a question. And the question goes like this. It says, the drawing below is a truncated right hexagonal pyramid. Roman figure 1, complete the given plan. Roman figure 2, draw the end view looking in the direction of the arrow. Draw the development and the true shape of the truncated section, as you can see below. Now, the first thing I'll do, I'm going to draw an horizontal line at any given point on your drawing sheet. So I'll just draw this way. You can see that. And I'll draw a vertical line at any given point on that line, right? You can see that. And this is where they are meeting. So since we are given the base of the pyramid to be 50, right? It means the diameter of the circle you are going to use to draw the hexagon should be what? Should be 50. So if I take my compass, I'm going to measure 25 from 0. This is 25 here, and I am going to place it at the midpoint here, starting from here, and I'm going to draw a circle, faint line, right? Now after that, with the same radius I used to draw the circle, I'll place it at this end. I will strike an arc. I'll place it at this end. I'll strike another arc. I'll come here also. I'll strike an arc. I'll come here also. I'll strike another arc. That's what I did. Now I will now take my meter rule. I will now join each of those points together. So this is what we have here, right? So let me just zoom it up a little bit so we're going to have a clearer view of what we're talking about. Now the next thing I'll be doing here is drawing a parallel line that will just any line here, right? From the base, from this circular point here, you just draw any line of your choice here, like any line at all, as long as it's not touching the figure. You can see that as long as it's not touching the main figure at any given distance. And you're going to project each of those points upward to touch the line you draw. From this end point, I'll draw. You can see that. From this end point, I'll draw. You can see that. So from this point to this point, I can call it to be whatever I want to. Here can be 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, then what? 3. So this point here is 0. This point here is what? 3. You can see that. So I'm going to thicken that distance there. That will be the base of the pyramid. You can see that. Now the next thing is the height, which is given to be 40 plus 20, as you can see from the right hand side, and that is what? 60. So I am going to measure 60 upward with the help of what? My meter rule. So from here, this is 0 to 6 is what? 60. You can see that. Then I'm going to draw them down. This will come to touch the apex point, and this will come to touch the apex point here. You can see that. Now, what I'm going to do again here is that from the right hand side, from here to here is 40. So I'm going to measure 40 upward from the base. So from this point, from 0 to 4 is what? 40. Can you see that? And I'm going to measure, take my set square, and I'll draw a line parallel to that point. Right? I'll draw a line from here. I'll be touching here, faint line. So this is where I'm actually focusing on. You can see that. Now the next one is 25. So I'm going to measure from here again. I'll measure another 25. Right? So from 0, I'll measure 25. This 25 here. Is that taken? And I'll take my meter rule and I'm going to project that point 25 to this point here. I'll just do that faint line. Can you see? Now it is meeting the sides of the triangle at this point and at this point. So from those points, I'm going to thicken it. Is that taken? From here to here. You can see that? And from here to here. Can you see that? Then I'll now connect this point to this point here. I'll connect what? This point to this point. So this is what we have here. Now, most cases, the question might come in different way, right? Just like what you can see on the screen. It might tell you it is truncated at an angle off. So what you do, you're going to do the same way. If I say it is truncated at an angle, probably I'm placing an angle at this point to be what? 35 or 45. I'll just draw it to be at an angle of what? 35 or 45. Is that okay now? So it depends. But in this case, we are giving the distance. Most time I just be giving the angle. Like these questions now I'm showing on the screen. You can see this one. Truncated at an angle of what? 45. They are all the same thing. One thing is just for you to reproduce the same figure that has been given. So if it is from here, you just place with 45 degree at an height of 25. I'll just place my meter rule at that point and I'll draw. If it's 60 degree, I'll place just like that. So you get the logic. And if you don't really understand what I'm talking about, you can click this link at the top right corner here. Are you with me? And you see a cone in this case, right? That is truncated at an angle also. Or you can check this description list link below. So you get to understand what I'm trying to talk about. Now let's proceed. So the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to project these 2 points here from here to here. I'll stop here, then this point here, I'll stop here. Can you see? So this point is point 1, and here is what? Point 2. So 0, 1, 2, 3, right? And I will now generate them to go towards the center. So from 2 towards the center, the apex point. Can you see that? And I'll draw faint line from this point. And I'll stop here, then I'll not thicken it. I'll come here also, I'll do the same thing from 1 to the apex point, right? I'll draw from here. just taken from here. You can see that. So we have reproduced the figure that is displayed at the right hand side of the screen. Now we say we should complete what? Complete the plan. Now to complete the plan, this is what you are going to do. First of all, that's the first question. We should complete the plan. This is the plan, this is the elevation, right? So what you should do is connect each point passing through the center. One passing through the center to touch two. All together this way. Then another one here passing through the center to touch one. You can see that what I've done. So what I will now do again after that is to project this point downward. Wherever the line meets this point, you see this is point 0 coming down here. So I'm going to draw my line down from here. I'll draw it down from that point. You can see that. So where is it touching point 0? This is point 0. Where is it touching point 0? This is the line of 0 coming down, right, straight down. So it's touching 0 at this point. So this is first point because 0 is touching 0. I'll come again. I am going to do the same thing even before that. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. This is already there on its own, right? So the next one is this point here. I will generate it down. That is point 2. Look at the line of 2 goes up, reach here, you bring it down. That is the line of 2, right? So I'll go to the line of 2. I'll draw it down, straight down. Now the question is, where is 2 touching 2? Now 2 is touching 2 at this point. This is the line of 2 that will project down. So 2, this is the line of 2 here, right? So 2 is touching 2 here, and also 2 is touching 2 here. Can you see that? I'll come again. The line of 3, this is 3 here, coming here. I'll bring it down, straight down, vertical line. I'll come to the line of 3, right? And I'll bring it down. Now this is where 3 is touching 3 here. This is the line of 3. So what will I do? I will now join those points together. Each of those points, I will join them together from here, right? So I will join them together. I will join this to this, which I'm going to tick in. I'll also join this to this, and still remember one more that we're not done yet, which is this point here. Don't forget that, right? So that is the line of 1. I almost skip that. So I'll come to the line of 1 also, which is here. This is the line of 1 coming here to this point, and I'm going to take it down also the way I did the rest. Draw a vertical line downward. Can you see that? So line of 1 coming down to touch the line of 1. This is also the line of 1 here, and this is also the line of 1 here. So this is all the points that we have here. So I'm going to join them, and let's see what we are going to be having. So this will be joining this. This will be joining this. This. Will be joining this. This will be joining this. And this will be joining this. You can see what I've done. That is what we have. So I will now section it since we are cutting it, right? So I'll just place this way, section it at this angle of 45 degrees. So that is it. That part is where you cut off looking from the top. So this is what we have. And that is not all. I'm going to thicken from this point to touch here. Also from this point to touch here. Also from this point to touch here. Right, and here. You can see that. So this is what we have. That is the complete plan. So the next thing is we should draw the end view looking in the direction of the arrow, right? So when an arrow is pointing looking at this direction and we're told to draw what? The end view. What are you going to see? So what you should just do in this case here is you should just take your instrument and you just draw a line at this point, a straight line. You can see that. I'll just draw a line in between both of them at any given distance, this way. So they are meeting here. So it will be from this point. I'm going to draw my 45 degree. So how did I get 45 degree? Once you place it on your t-square, this angle here is what? 45. So I place it on my t-square and I drew this. Put together. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'll come to the apex point of the hexagonal pyramid and I'm going to draw a line this way. Can you see that? And I'll draw all these points, the end here. From here I'll draw a line that will touch the inclined line, right? I'll also come here too. I'll draw another line that will touch the inclined line. So where they meet, I'll project them upward. So from here, I'll project from this point. I'll project it upward this way. I'll project from this point. I'll project it upward this way. So what I'm going to do here is, at this point here, I'll draw a line that will be the same base as my triangle. So meaning that from this place to this place will be the base of my cone, looking at it, right? So from that way, if you look at it, so this point here is 1, 2, right? And this point here is what? 1, 2 also. They are the same base here, looking at it from this side. Now aside that, this is the center line here, and I'm going to project it up where this center line meets this point, and I'm going to project it up. From here, I'll take it up. You can see that. So I'm going to join the apex point of this to meet 1, 2. And I'm going to join the apex point of this to meet 1, 2. You can see that. Now we'll proceed. So from here, I'm going to project this end here. So if you look at this is 3, right? 0.3. All good. And this side here is what? 0, 3. So anything on this line is 3. Anything on this line is 1 and 2, right? So if I project this 3 points here, this 0.3 here, now 3 is meeting 3 at this point. Can you see that? 3 is meeting 3 at this point. Similarly, if I come here also, this is line of 0. I'll come here also, I'll project it out this way. What do you notice? Line of 0, this is 0 here, and this point is 0. So 0 is coming to meet 0 at this point. Can you see that? That's another point. Now the next one is, if I project here, this is the line of 2. Can you see that? I'll project the 2 out. What do you notice? The line of 2 is meeting 2. This point is 2, this point is 2, right? So they are meeting at this point. 2 meet 2 here, 2 also meet 2 here, right? Then I'll do for 1 also. Right? Now what do you notice? This is the line of 1. So and this is also 1 here. So 1 meet 1 here, and 1 also meet 1 here. So this is what we have. Now before I proceed, please, viewers, if you know you've been finding this video helpful, please don't forget to like the video. It's very important. And also subscribe to the channel if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, right? And also, if you want to watch the auxiliary projection of this view here, right, you can click on this link here for you to watch the auxiliary projection of this view. Is that taken? Now we'll proceed. So what will I do here is I'm going to join each and every one of those points together. Just join them together. So from here, I'll join this. 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 Then from here, I'll join this. You can see that. Then from here, I'll take this to join this. Join this to join this. Join this to join this. Are you seeing that? And I'm going to section that part here at an angle of 45. So I can take this to this. 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 Can you see that? So I can just decide. So we should know this is 2.2 here. This side is 2. Here also is 2. This side is 3. Here is 0. Here is 1, and also here is 1. You can see that. All these points here we have 3, 2, 1, and what? 0. You can see that. We should draw the development of this figure, right? This is another question on its own. How can I draw development of this hexagonal pyramid I have here? So what you have to do in this kind of case here is that let me extend it a little bit, coming down small this way. Draw a vertical line from this point here. Draw a vertical line from this point here. I'll bring it down. Should I start from here? Or should I? Okay, let's do it from here. From this point, I will draw a vertical line, an horizontal line this way. Hope you can see that. So if I call this my top point, let me call it G, as in G for graphics, right? Then I'll come here. I'll mark this point here. I'll call it what? G. Can you see the procedure? Now what I'm going to do is I am going to take the length from G to 0. Can you see that? And I'll place it here from G to 0. So this point you're seeing here, is 0.0. Right? So from that G to 0, now what will I do? I am going to draw a semicircle, as in an arc, in this fashion. Faint line. Can you see that? And I'll take a distance between any of this one, either 0 and 1 or 1 and 2. Then I'll come at this point, I'll mark 0 and 1. Then I'll come here again, I'll mark 2. I'll come here again, I'll mark 2. I'll come here, I'll mark 3. I'll come here and also mark what? 3. So let me mark it out. So you see, this is 0. So here will be 1, 1. Here will be 2, 2. Right? And here will be what? 3, 3. So what I'll just do is, I will now project this point to touch from here to this point. Right? And from here to this point. Right? And from here to this point. 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 You can see that. So the next thing is, since it's hexagonal, I'm going to tick in all this side from here to this point. From here to this point. From here to this point. Then to here. Then to here. Then to here. These are the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? So the next thing now I will just do is, I'll take my compass from G here to 0. Can you see that? I will come to G, I'll mark on the line of 0, and this is 0 here. That is 1 point. From G here to this, that is the line of 1. So I'll come to line of mark. Don't forget we're developing. I'll mark 1 here, I'll mark 1 here. From G here to 2, I'll come to G here, I'll mark on the line of 2 here and here, because this is the line of 2. From G here to 3, I'll come to G and I'll mark on the line of 3 here and what? And here. So I'm going to join those points together. Right? I'm going to join those points together. From here, I will tick in this. From here, I'll tick in this. From here, I'll tick in this to this point. Alright. From here, I'll tick in this to this point. From here, I'll tick in this to this point. From here, I'll tick in this to this point. And from here, I'll tick in this to this point. Then I'll start ticking all these points together. You can see that. So this is development of this figure you see here, right? I can actually draw my true length here if I want to, of the section part there. So what I'll do is I'll draw a line that is perpendicular to this point here, to all these points all together. So once I've placed my compass this way, my set square this way, a line perpendicular. See, I place my 4, the line of 4, I place it on that line. Can you see that? So I'll take the other one, the 60-degree set square. I'll now place it at the base here. I'll place it at the base here. Can you see that? Then I'll start moving it. So if I move it to this point, I'll draw this. If I move it to this point, I'll draw this. If I move to this point, I'll draw this. And I'll come here also, I'm going to draw this. So this is how you draw perpendicular line, parallel lines to each other all together. So at any given distance, I would have not shaped it yet. At any given distance, this is what we have. I use this to draw this. Let me rearrange it again. I use this to get all this arc, you see. Can you see that? So I'll just take it back, bring this, and I'll place it here. And I'll move it somewhere around here. And I'll just draw a line this way. Can you see that? Now, what you should now do is to project each of these points that you want to draw out. Project it to touch here. Come to this point to project it to touch here. Right? Then this is come to this point to project it to touch here. And come to this point to project it to touch here. So what you should do is this is 0, this is 1, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 2. Can you see that? This is 2, this is 1. Hope you can see that. So I'll just take my compass from 0 to 1. You can notice that both of them are the same thing, both up and down. 1 up is the same as saying 1 down. Is that okay now? So I'll just come to here, 0 to 1. I'll come to the line of 1. I'll place it at the center here, and I'll mark 1 up, right, and 1 down. You can see that. I'll come again, because why I'm taking those 1 up and 1 down, because if you divide into 2, they are symmetrical, these two here. So I'll come again, that is for 1. Then I'll come for 0 to 2, right? This is 2 here. I'll trace it. This is a line of 2 here. This is a line of 2. I'll trace it to that point, and I'll mark from here 2. I'll mark down. I'll also mark what? Up. Are we good? And point 0, this is 0 already at this point here. This is 0 already, and this is 3 here. Because if you trace it, 3 here, if you trace it, 0 here. So you don't join those points together. Why I'm just doing all this is to give you an insight if the question can change, so you will not get lost. Right? So I'll join this point to this point. Right? This point to this point. Right? This point to this point. This point to this point. This point to this point. And this point to this point. I see that. So that is the true shape there of the section part, the section part there. So I'm going to section it. Truncated part with an angle of 45 degrees. This is what we have here. So this is the true shape. These are all the possible questions that you can be asked in the exam. First time they can tell you complete the plan. You complete the plan. Draw the view looking from the side arrow. You draw the view, give from the side arrow. Draw development of it, the development of it, and the true shape, and that is the true shape. So these are possible questions that you can be asked during the exams or any test. So if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and also share the video. Thanks for watching.